What up, y'all? It's your boy Tay Day. Welcome to the feed. Back again with another episode. Thank you guys for still listening in, getting my views up, getting my listens in. And I hope you guys are feeling me on the information that I'm bringing you. Today, I got a dilemma. I got a situation. I have something to share with you guys that's been going on for about a couple weeks. But I really just brought it to the table just to make sure I should be feeling the way that I'm feeling. And I want to go ahead and let you guys know how it broke down. So, guys, again, just to reiterate what's going on in my life, I want you guys to understand that I did go through the wind energy technician. I went through the technical schooling, me and a buddy of mine, and came out excited, ready to do it, got a job, got hired, and boom, dilemma number one is that we got right to the position just to go to the the training, and a week before we were supposed to be sent off, they had to reschedule, they had to push everything back due to the project manager, the owners, the companies pushed it back all the way until the beginning of this year, 2020. So, scrambling for a job, me and my buddy find a job, word of mouth, with a tower company. Now, wind energy, those things that everybody thinks is a windmill, not a windmill. That's all white that you see when you're driving past on the highway, not a windmill. It is a turbine, okay? And it is not called a tower either, okay? Common misconception. Those are called turbines, and towers are different. Towers are the ones that are broadcasting towers, the skinny ones that you see. They don't have anything spinning on top of them. It's just, you see the blinking lights, the red lights, white lights. Those are towers, broadcasting towers, communication towers. And that is what me and my buddy ended up doing currently doing until we find, or until we get our call or email in that, setting us up with the rest of the process going through the training. Now, during this course that me and my buddy have been doing through this tower work, it has been very unpleasant, I would say. Why is it unpleasant? Because the work plus money, it's just a baby company that's been going on for about 4 or 5 years, and they pay per day. They don't pay you by the hour. And so what me and my buddy kind of got into it, mostly it was just me, okay? I had a problem with it getting paid the amount I was getting paid for the work that we were doing, for the hours and how the control, especially when we go out of state. So most of the time we've only actually been going to Texas, but we stay in Oklahoma and Texas. And during this time span of us spending anywhere between 5 to 10 days out of state, we did not get paid any more for going out of state and staying nights over there than we were staying in state. And on top of that, when we were in state, we don't get paid for our drive, our traveling out, which was around 90 miles one way. And then after we get off work, we got to drive 90 miles back home. And that is not reimbursed. Now, I understand people do drive 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour out to their jobs on a daily. Okay. Whatever you guys agree to. And I guess it's the same way with me, but it's not something I want to continue doing. Now, the biggest dilemma of the situation is that me and my buddy are not getting paid the same Not saying the same, but we're not getting paid enough. We don't feel like we're getting paid enough for what we're doing. Granted, we're getting paid $4 or $5 more from in the turbine industry, the jobs that we've already agreed to work, the company already agreed to work with for our knowledge and expertise now. So we took $4 or $5 less doing this tower work. Even though this tower work, you're working on the outside of, there's no inside of a tower. You're hanging from a tower, wearing a harness and some other gear to help you keep you safe. And you're hanging, and you're in awkward positions hanging, and most of the time you don't hit lunch breaks. So, especially going out of state, you're getting up at 7 in the morning, working until sundown, missing lunch, only having maybe if you're lucky, you'll have some kind of snack that you brought with you, and then you get dinner, and then that's it. You're at the hotel chilling, and that's pretty much it. Of course, this is what we agreed to for the time being. Now, coming to the boss man did not know. Like I said before, earlier in my story, we are waiting. The project got pushed. Our training got pushed until the beginning of the year. So I'm up tower with another one of our coworkers one day. My buddy's not there with me. We're only about 100 feet in the air, and we're talking. And he's telling me this new guy that used to work for the guy. The owner, he comes and tells me that he was talking about getting into the turbine business. Somebody offered him a position, talking about him going through the turbine schooling, blah, 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 and getting paid $35 an hour after he gets out. I'm like, that's cool. That's great, man. Go ahead and do it. So he's chatting it up with me because he heard that I went through the schooling. And I told the owner, the guy that hired us, like, this is what we got. We just got out of school, and this is what we've been looking for. And for some reason, it didn't process in the owner's mind that we were still going to look for that, or we're still waiting on that job. So we're talking up and chit-chatting, and I tell the guy, I'm like, January, February time, I'm supposed to be receiving an email because the company that I've already been hired on to has been still staying in contact with us, making sure we're still interested, still wanting to go ahead and work for them. And so I told the guy, like, January, sometime in January, February, we're supposed to be hearing back with the training date. So knowing that we're getting, we're about to hit the ground running now. So the guy, he overhears it while we're 100 feet in the air. And he tells me he stopped working, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He didn't bring it up until a couple of days later. And what happened was that the owner got mad. So he calls me up, or he texts me, he asks me if we can talk. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I call him back. I call him, and we're like, okay. He's like, man, it really bothers me because I asked him, because I told him, I was like, well, maybe 2-3 days before we had that he overheard us talking up tower. He said I called him to tell him that, hey, look, this so and so. Okay, we don't have benefits. He has workers' comp, and that's it. Okay, we don't have any other benefits. I have a girlfriend that has a son. I got my own little family here that I've been with for almost 3 years now. And he thought that him paying me what he's paying me, which is honestly not enough to be doing what we're doing. he believed that we were going to stick around. And I asked him for more money. So he gave me and it's only more money for when we go out of state. It's not whenever we're in state. It was just more money for paying us for going out of state. So once he agreed to that, a few days later, he hears us up tower, bada boom, bada bam. A couple days after that, he calls me because it's been on his mind. It's been bothering him. He said he doesn't want to pay me more money because he overheard that I'm planning on leaving him sometime in January, which is this month or next month. So he thought that we were looking for longevity in a business. And I'm like, well, yeah, I am looking for longevity. I didn't say that doesn't mean that for you. And I told him, it's like, well, you're only paying us this right now. I don't get any reimbursement for the gas, for the gas when I'm driving out to Clinton, Oklahoma, then and back. I don't get reimbursement for that. But then when we go out of state, you decide where we sleep, you decide where we eat, when we eat, what we eat, and so on and so forth. It's just not worth the time being away from my family when I could be at home in my bed each night after work instead of being here and pretty much being bored, not having much to do for the price of I'm getting paid the same amount of money if I was here, if I would have just took jobs here in state and instead of taking jobs out of state. So he's angry, and I start getting angry. I'm pissed off at this point. I'm like, he's telling me this stuff, and I'm like, dude, you don't offer me enough to stay. You don't offer any employee. And he starts telling me about how he was, before he hired me and my buddy on, that he was talking about going to just do contract jobs for his business and get paid that way so he don't have to deal with employees and deal with stuff like this. And I'm like, you don't offer me enough to build longevity. I don't know anybody that's going to do the type of work that I'm doing and then on top of that have no benefits and stay for a long time. And he's already told us past information of how people have left him for better jobs or different jobs. Anybody that has a brain will go and accept a job that's getting paid maybe even a couple dollars less than what he was paying us for benefits plus $12, $13 an hour. That's a no-brainer because the benefits that you're getting from that job is going to be worth more than you getting paid, the $15 or $16 if you're making $12 or $13 plus benefits. You have no health insurance. What happens if you get hurt? This job is outdoor work. You're hanging from a tower anywhere between 100 to thousands of feet, a couple thousand feet in the air. And then you also get lunch breaks. Shit, I'm on the ground. I can eat lunch whenever. So, guys, this is what the dilemma ended up being. Now, this is kind of part of it, but guys, link into part 2 of this dilemma that I'm having with the tower industry. Thank you guys for listening. Now, click on the next video to listen in for the rest of the information.